Hello, everybody, and welcome to another day at Live at the Waterhole. My name is Taylor McCurdy, and I will be hosting you for the next 3 hours. And if this is your first time joining us, this is all live, this is all interactive, and I'm going to rely on you all sending me lots of wonderful questions and comments. Otherwise, who knows what I'm going to have to end up talking about on this show. So if you are uncertain how to send your questions and comments through, it's pretty easy. All you have to do is comment on the YouTube chat, or what you can also do is you can head over to the WildEarth website. Perhaps you want to download the app, but otherwise you can put some questions in the question box. That's another great way. But I think we'll just hang on tight for a couple more minutes and watch these animals come through. And hopefully I'll get a couple of hellos from all of you, just so that I know that I'm not out here alone. Giraffe, how do you do? Very sad about giraffe. I don't know if we've all been reading like the latest research and anything around that. But very sadly, in just the last 3 decades, the giraffe population, so the giraffe species all over Africa, have declined by over 40%, which is horrifying. And they've guessed that there's anywhere between 80 and 140,000 giraffe left. And I suspect that it is the southern giraffe of the 4 species that is doing pretty well, because their distribution and their subspecies is there are quite a few more of them, and they occur in more areas. Here we are at Oldonyo. We've got the Grant's zebra, which is a subspecies. We chatted a lot about this yesterday. Subspecies of the plains zebra, and one impala. And so funny about the impala, because I look obviously in the more central to northern regions of Kenya. There's not a lot of food availability all year round, and their horns are so much smaller. They look very similar to, of course, the impala that we get in South Africa in terms of their size. My goodness, but if any of you have ever been to the Serengeti or to the Masai Mara National Reserve, anywhere around that ecosystem, you will fall off your chair, especially if you're a South African. You will stare at impala for 20 or 30 minutes because you won't believe how big they are. Their horns grow, but if you look at that individual there, they grow out twice as wide and high. I'm not even joking. It looks so out of proportion. But again, this is all just due to the quality of food that is available, and it is available all year round. So something to have a look at. Perhaps you can even just maybe pop into Google while you're all watching on your phones or on your whichever device you're using, and just Google impala of the Masai Mara and see some of those photos. Their tail, it is a nice identifying feature. And now you can obviously see with these, sorry, I was just saying that we have the plain zebra, but here you can see the shadow stripe quite nicely in comparison to what we've seen in Oldonyo. But very important breeding site for the lesser flamingos. In fact, it is the main breeding site for lesser flamingos in South Africa. And that's because of this island that's made of mud and soil, which is great nesting material, seen as though they make these sort of mud nests. It's going to be quite interesting coming into the end of the year, when summer sort of hits. And hopefully we see thousands more flamingos all coming to breed here, because they're sort of communal nesters, if you will. They'll all make their nests relatively close to one another, kind of like what you see if you've ever seen albatrosses and like lots of those like ocean aquatic bird species that all nest in very similar areas. But I suppose, like anything, like what we typically see in the Mara, a lot of the animals there, not necessarily just birds, don't have a very strict breeding season. And that's just because there's so much food available for them all year round. So potentially that could be the case with the flamingos too. But from my understanding, they will mostly breed in the summer months. Dolphins. Someone has to remind me, where were we? Were we at Tao yesterday where we saw all those water birds? I'm just trying to think. But anyways, we're going to watch the elephants now, obviously. And I know I had a question earlier about elephants, and I said that I'll tell you the story when we watch some elephants, but now I've completely forgotten it. I am hopeless. It's probably because it's the weekend, to be fair. My brain is not on work mode. So if it was you that asked me the question about elephants that I said, I will answer the questions when we see some more elephants. Now's your time. I should have written it down. But a lovely breed and herd. I think we also had such a nice sighting of them here around a similar time. I think, excuse me, I think summer is going to arrive a lot sooner than we think. The Lowveld area has got extremely hot, and Madikwe is much further north, right on the northern border of South Africa, and joins with Botswana. And there, the summer temperatures are extreme. I don't know if anybody knows what the temperature at Jamala is today. I'm going to guess. I'm going to say it's 34, 35. Here's a big crocodile, also just basking in the sun. Just enjoying. That looks a lot more comfortable than just a sandbag, and I'd also think I'd quite like to lie about in the grass. One thing I would like to do is, I don't know if it's possible because we've only got 20 minutes left. I would really like to do some birding and perhaps add a couple more birds to our Tau list. So if we can have a scan around, we should be quite lucky and see quite a few different species. If I'm not mistaken, I think we had spoonbills, all those things, but I said I'm not going to add them until we can have a better look. It has been a wonderful morning, a little bit quiet in terms of wildlife today. Hopefully tomorrow will bring us a lot of fun as well. But it was nice to end with all these birds. And gosh, we did spend a bit of time with crocodiles, which was really epic. And I have no doubt that we're going to see more and more wonderful things happening. But a big thank you to all of you for sending in so many questions and so many comments. It makes my life so much easier, because even though I enjoy talking to myself, I'd much prefer talking to all of you. So a big thank you again. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. But don't forget about the sunset safari. Hopefully you'll get your cats.